Hi everybody. By the title of this video, you can definitely tell that this is called therapy. Now, you guys may think, what the hell is therapy? And I'm making this face because I'm like, what is therapy? Therapy. Now, we're going to get into it. Because a lot of people, and let me just put it out there because I know you guys are going to say it. A lot of people don't like therapy. And they don't like therapy because they think that therapy is just somebody who doesn't know you giving their opinion of what you're going through. So basically like a judge, listening to what you're going through and telling you how to live your life. Basically, somebody trying to tell you how to live your life. Listen, a therapist is a doctor because they're helping you get through something. Like medication helps you with depression, anxiety, or whatever you're going through. It's basically the same thing. And a lot of times, people can't go to other people. A lot of times, you can't go to somebody and tell them how you feel or what you're going through. So you need a therapist to help you out. And sometimes your therapist can prescribe you medication as well. So, let's get started. Because I know there's a lot of questions. And I'm going to answer all of your questions. Because I know a lot of people are like, what is therapy? And why should we go to therapy? So what is therapy? Like, put in the comments down below what you think therapy is and why you think people need to go to therapy. I'm waiting. Put in the comments down below what you think therapy is and why you think people should go to therapy. And let's see, by the end of this video, if what you put in those comments are right. Now, therapy, often called therapy, is a form of treatment. Therapy, also known as physical therapy, is a form of mental health treatment that involves working with a trained professional to address emotional behavior or cognitive behavior, to improve mental well-being, to cope with stressful life events, to treat mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, and trauma, to develop healthier coping mechanisms, to gain insight into thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Types of therapy: cognitive behavioral therapy focuses on changing negative thought patterns and behavior. Interpersonal therapy examines and improves relationships and issues. Therapy explores motivation in early childhood experiences. Teaches skills for managing emotions, improving relationships, and making healthier decisions. Benefits of therapy: reduced stress and anxiety, improved coping mechanisms, increased self-awareness, enhanced skills, and improved mental health outcomes. It's important to note that therapy is a process between the patient and the therapist. Nobody else. It's private. The goal is to create a safe and supportive environment where the patient can work towards their goals and achieve positive changes in their life. Now, with that being said, I know y'all still thinking, what the hell is therapy? What the hell is therapy? What the hell is therapy? What's the difference between therapy and talking to a friend? Put in the comments, what do you guys think? What do you think therapy is? Put in the comments, what do you think therapy is? Why do you think therapy is different between talking to a therapist and talking to a friend? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You may be asking yourself, why do I need therapy when I can just talk to my friends about what I'm going through? Having a strong support network of friends to lean on when you're having a tough time is important, but your loved ones fill a different role than a therapist does. A trained mental health professional can provide a more specialized kind of support, especially if you are dealing with a mental condition below. A mental condition, like training a therapist has gone through specialized training to recognize and treat emotional distress and mental health conditions. A friend could be a good listener, but they do not have the training needed to help you sort through all of the mental and emotional complexes that result from trauma, stress, or unhealthy patterns of behavior. We hope the friends we confide in will respect our privacy, but the only time confidentiality is guaranteed is when we speak to a licensed therapist. Therapists are held to legal and professional standards to protect all information discussed in sessions unless there is a risk of harm to yourself or others. The objective when we get advice from our friends, their opinions come from their involvement in our lives and their shared experiences with us. Therapists can offer an outside perspective and help us think through different points of view. Attention. A healthy friendship is a two-way street. You each express your feelings and talk about your issues. It's important to spend equal time and attention, and it's important to spend equal time and attention on each person in a friendship, but a therapist's job is to pay full attention to you and you only, nobody else. It would be unfair to ask a friend not to talk about their problems, but there are professional boundaries in place that prevent therapists from sharing their personal issues with you. A therapist can help you focus on more complex issues that need full attention. What to expect from a therapist. Once you have found a therapist you feel comfortable with, you will work together to define your treatment goals. What do you expect to get out of therapy? Whether you meet the goals you've set together depends on a number of things, some of which may be out of control, such as cost, location, and other logistics. But there is an important piece that is within your control. Commitment to your own growth. Successful therapy is not only supported by a good trained therapist, but is also accomplished with the investment from you. Now, what I know I just told you a handful, and you're thinking like, what the hell? But to sum up everything that I just said, a therapist is a trained professional, okay? A trained, licensed professional who could help you with what you're going through. Now, you can speak to your friends, you can speak to your family and get therapy that way. Don't get me wrong, you definitely can. But they're not trained. They're not licensed. They don't have a degree in therapy. So they're only helping you with what you're going through from their experiences they've experienced in life. That's what they're using to help you. Now, a therapist is using what they learned when they got their license, their schooling, and their background that way to help you with what you're going through in life. So it's trained, licensed professionals. You can have a woman, you can have a man. You can have a black woman, you can have a black man. You can have a white woman, you can have a white man. You can have an Indian woman, an Indian man, whatever race you want, a Christian. Whatever type of therapist you are looking for, they have for you. And I'm not going to tell you where to find a therapist, because you have to go online and find a therapist in your area that is good for you. Now, I recommend that you do a consultation. And if you don't know what a consultation is basically you go and you have an appointment with your therapist that you find. And that one session could be on FaceTime, video chat, or it could be over the phone. It could be face to face, but it's your consultation. And you're basically telling them what you're going through and what help you need. And they're telling you how they can help you. And a consultation is you figuring out if they're the right therapist for you. And if they're not the right therapist for you, then you can tell them, I'm sorry, I'm going to be looking elsewhere, or however you want to tell them. And then you just go about your life and you find a new therapist that is good for you. But you have to make sure you do that consultation, because you don't want to pay somebody or have a therapist and they're not the right fit for you. And you can have therapy for however many years, months, weeks, or days you want. Like, I know somebody who had therapy all their life with the same therapist. So it just depends on how long you want the therapy and how long you want the help. But trust me, it's going to help you. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes people are like, all right, therapy's not for me. So now what besides therapy can I do to help me? Listen, like I say, therapy is not for everybody. Nothing is for everyone. Something that's for you may not be for me. Something that's for me may not be for you. But I'm telling you, therapy is very, very helpful. And depending on what insurance you have, that depends on, the type of therapy you can get. Now, I recommend you to call your insurance and have them give you a list of different therapists that you could, use, and then you can call them, the ones that they give you. Write it down on like a piece of paper or on your phone, however you do it. And then you can call the therapist that the insurance company gives you, and then you can see which one is good for you. That's how you should do it. And you can decide, depending on the therapist, if you want to do in person, or if you want to do it on FaceTime, or if you just want to do it over the phone. And in the beginning, maybe you'll just want to do it over the phone and not FaceTime or face-to-face. And then maybe gradually throughout the weeks or months after you get comfortable, you might want to do it on FaceTime. And then you might gradually graduate to doing it in person. It depends on you and your comfortable level. It depends on you and your comfortable level. So definitely call your insurance. Write down the therapist that they'll give you. Sometimes they'll send it to your email. Sometimes they'll send it to your phone, depending on how they do it. And that is how you'll get a list of therapists that you can use that take your insurance. Now, if they don't take your insurance, go to the next one. Because sometimes when you call your insurance, they'll say that this one takes your insurance or that one takes your insurance. But really, when you call, they may not take that insurance anymore. So definitely call them all and definitely do your consultation. Now, like I said, therapy may not be for you, but the videos I'm making on this channel, may be for you. It may be helping you with what you're going through. And if it is, let me know. Because if I help at least one person, I'm satisfied. That brings me joy. Like I said, doing things for other people is what I'm doing. I'm helping other people get through their problems and get through what they're doing. So this is kind of like a therapy, but not all the way. But anyway, back to what I was saying. That's therapy. Therapy works. Therapy helps. And I will definitely have one of my friends who go to therapy speak on therapy. And they will definitely explain everything. They'll definitely talk more about therapy because they personally do therapy themselves. So they'll talk more about it to be able to explain it to you, for you to understand, like, this is therapy and this is what it is. I'm not just saying go to therapy because I don't want you to come to me for the help, but I'm saying go to therapy because you always need a listening ear. You always need somebody who does not know your situation to help you. And sometimes they can give you the medication you need as well as the therapy that you need. And sometimes if you don't need the medication but you just need the therapy, that's it as well. But I think therapy is a wonderful thing. And I think that if you are somebody who needs therapy, definitely use it. Because it helps a lot of people. And a lot of people that you think are perfect, like a lot of these celebrities that you think are perfect and never go through anything, they're the number one people who go to therapy. There are so many celebrities that talk about how they go to therapy and it was the best thing that they ever did in their life. A lot of celebrities talk about that. A lot of celebrities talk about that. A lot of normal human beings, they talk about it as well. So a lot of people you would think don't need therapy or have perfect lives or just don't need therapy, they probably go to therapy, but you just don't know because they don't broadcast it to say it. And another thing, if you decide to go to therapy, nobody in the world needs to know that you're going to therapy. The only person that needs to know that you're going to therapy is you, yourself, and that's it. And whatever higher power you believe in. I believe in Christianity. I believe in God, my Holy Spirit, but Jesus Christ. But whatever you believe in and yourself should be the only people that know that you're going to therapy, because that's nobody's business to know you're going to therapy. But if you want to tell people you're going to therapy, go right ahead. But you don't need to do that because it's your personal business. And like I said, you may be scared because you may think, if I get therapy, the therapist is going to tell people my business. The therapist has a contract that when they get their license, they have a contract that states they cannot tell people's business or legal actions will happen. So they have to agree that this is not what they're going to do. So they're not going to tell people your business. They're not going to make fun of you and laugh at you because of whatever you told them. They're really not going to, because a lot of the time, a lot of therapists have went through what you're going through. So they're not going to make fun of what you're going through because they probably went through it themselves. So like I said, therapy is good for a lot of people who can't speak to their family or their friends. You know what I mean? So therapy is a definitely good idea. So I hope you learned a lot about therapy, and let me know if you go to therapy and if therapy helps you and what you've learned from therapy, the good, the bad, the ugly. Now, don't get me wrong. So, like I said, I don't want this video to be too long to where I bore y'all. But, like I said, go try it out. And after, it doesn't hurt to try out therapy. Now, if you try out therapy and it's not for you, then at least you can say you've tried therapy. But like I said, I hope this video has helped you a lot. And like I said, put in the comments down below if you went to therapy, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and what your opinions on therapy. You don't have to comment what you spoke about in therapy, but you could just explain like what you think about therapy, your opinion, for the ones who, been to therapy, so that it could really help other people who are learning and trying to figure out if therapy is definitely for them. But I hope this video helped you guys out. Until next time, bye everyone.